The Dalai Lama's 90th birthday is being celebrated on two different dates. It is because of the variation between the Tibetan calendar and the Western Georgian calendar. As per the Tibetan calendar, 30th June 2025 was celebrated as his 90th birthday in Dharamshala with all rituals and vibrant festivities. As per Western Georgian calendar, July 6, 2025 is recognized as his actual birth anniversary. This day will feature an official ceremony. On July 6th, the Dalai Lama is expected to provide clarity on the future of the Tibetan reincarnation tradition and his succession plans. This event is significant not only for Tibetan Buddhists but also for China, India, and the United States, which are closely watching the developments. On March 31, 1959, the Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, fled Tibet and entered India. He crossed the border into the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh at the Kensimane Pass. It took a 15-day grueling trek across the Himalayas with his family and close associates. The Dalai Lama left Lhasa, Tibet on March 17, 1959, disguised as a soldier due to concerns about his safety amid Chinese military presence and growing unrest. He traveled through the Himalayas, facing harsh terrain and potential threats from Chinese troops until he reached the Indian border. Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru welcomed him with political asylum on April 3, 1959, and the Dalai Lama eventually settled in Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh, where he established the Tibetan government in exile. The Dalai Lama's arrival in India marked a significant turning point in his life and the history of Tibet, as he continued to advocate for Tibetan autonomy and cultural preservation while living in exile. On his birthday, he will reveal the future of the Tibetan reincarnation traditions and his succession plans. The Dalai Lama, nearly 90 years old, has made a significant statement regarding his reincarnation, sparking a dispute with China. The Dalai Lama has confirmed that the institution of Dalai Lama will continue after his demise, and the Garden for Drank Trust, a non-profit organization established by him, has the sole authority to recognize his future reincarnation. This trust is based in Dharamshala, India, where the Dalai Lama has resided in exile since 1959. But the conflict and confusion arises after China's hegemonic behavior and assertion that the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama must be approved by the central government in Beijing. According to Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning, the process of reincarnation involves drawing lots from a golden urn, a tradition introduced by the Qing dynasty emperor in 18th century. India's stance is clear. India has supported the Dalai Lama's authority on reincarnation, with Union Minister Kiren Rijiju stating that the decision lies with the Dalai Lama himself and the established conventions in place. This rejects China's assertion of control over the process. As a practicing Buddhist, Kiren Rijiju's credentials are reflected in his actions and statements. He has shown respect and understanding for the Dalai Lama and Tibetan Buddhism. This dispute over the Dalai Lama's reincarnation has significant implications for Tibetan Buddhism, cultural identity, and human rights. At the same time, the Dalai Lama's insistence on Tibetan-led reincarnation is seen as a challenge to China's efforts to control Tibetan Buddhism and undermine the Dalai Lama's spiritual authority. Potential consequences in these scenarios are that the situation may lead to the emergence of two rival Dalai Lamas, one recognized by the Tibetan community and the other appointed by China. India's assertion will further strengthen our stance and resolve regarding the Tibetan autonomous region in particular, and the Dalai Lama is sole supreme spiritual head of Tibet in exile, and the process of Dalai Lama lies with the present Dalai Lama himself, as per his wishes and traditions.